Boom, just like that, 6 years later. Welcome to the review of episode 8 of the House of the Dragon. Now, I must say that Rhaenyra Targaryen is the most fertile character I have come across. She had 3 children already. Now she has 2 for Daemon, and she's still pregnant. And one of her children is called Aegon. I mean, how many Aegons are we going to have in a single movie, in a single series? Oh, anyways, so the episode 8 was basically centered on who should be the Lord of Driftmark. From the look of things, it looks as though Lord Corlys has passed on during a war. Now, he had already mentioned and told his wife that he wants Lucerys, that's Rhaenyra's second child, to be the Lord of Driftmark. But then there are questions about the legitimacy of Rhaenyra's children as Seleno's, and so Lord Corlys's brother Vaemond presented a petition to the king over who should be Lord of Driftmark. His argument is that the kids do not look like Seleno, the kids do not have Valerian blood, and so they cannot be made to be Lord over Driftmark, which has, the largest army and stuff like that. He doesn't want to see his inheritance being passed on to bastards. So that was basically what the movie was about. So they came to King's Landing, and Rhaenyra also had to come to King's Landing to ask for help from her father. But I was wondering how long will the father be alive to always defend Rhaenyra's actions? How will the father be alive throughout the movie? Because from the look of things, the father really looks like a puppy. He's been given a milk that makes him look like I don't know. And I think the Hand is a very, very wicked guy. He intentionally, I think he just decided on that particular drink or medicine or dose for the king to make him weak, to make him look like whatever he wanted him to look like and stuff like that. And back to Rhaenyra. Will the king be alive forever to always defend her actions, her bad decisions? Came to King's Landing, the petitions have to be heard. Now Rhaenyra is going around promising and trying to get people to be on her side. She went to her mother-in-law Rhaenys, who she lied to and said that she didn't order the death of her former husband. She has no hand in it. I mean, why would you go that far to lie? I think she should have not said anything about that at all. Just say you missed him, you loved him, both of you tried, and what happened. But then you go and then you lie to the woman's face. She made a proposal that the woman later on accepted, and Sir Vaemond was also trying to get Alicent to be on his side. In fact, I think if things were a little bit different, Vaemond would have been the Lord of Driftmark. But then things changed, as we saw. Whilst the petitions were being heard, the king made a grand entrance. Now we could see how weak he is. We all can see how weak he is. I don't know what happened to his eye and the side of his face. I don't remember he going to a war or anything of the sort. But then that has happened to his face, and I'm not sure what happened to him. He made a grand entrance, very, very weak. Look how long it took for him to get to the Iron Throne. And even whilst he was climbing the steps to the throne, I mean, he couldn't. He's so weak. It's like he's so weak. He didn't want help. But then Daemon came and like, brother, I need to help you get to your throne. And it was beautiful to watch. I mean, you could see that the love is there, just that they disagreed on how things should be done. Daemon thinks that he's a weak king in terms of his decisions, trying to please everyone, trying not to offend anyone. Whereas Daemon, on the other hand, is like, if he has to go, he has to go. If this is supposed to be done, it's supposed to be done. No sympathy. Let's just rule as kings without emotions. But Viserys is not like that. So, that disagreement was there. But then, they are brothers. They love each other. And so Daemon helped the king ascend the throne. He sat on the throne and then heard the petitions. So he was like, what's happening here? I'm confused. Lord Corlys, let's say a deceased man had made a wish. He has been very clear who should be Lord of Driftmark. Why are we here listening to petitions, listening to arguments, listening to what you're not supposed to listen to. Now, Lord Viserys, King Viserys was like, okay, if there's anyone who would tell us what Lord Corlys wanted, it will be his wife, Rhaenys. So he called Rhaenys. Rhaenys came and said, yes, this is what Lord Corlys wanted. He wants Viserys to be the Lord of Driftmark, and I support him. I never changed my mind about that. And then Vaemond is like, okay, she's taking the side of Rhaenyra. And then Rhaenys also announced that Rhaenyra had made a proposal for her children to marry her grandchildren. And you could see the smile on the faces of the girls. I mean, they are familiar with themselves, and so when the proposal was made, they were like, okay, we are happy, we are marrying our cousins and stuff like that. But then Vaemond was like, even if that's what my brother has said, when you look at the children, they are not Valyrian children. They do not have Valyrian blood. So why are we all here pretending? Why are we pretending? He was venting. He nearly said something. Daemon was like, say it. Then, boom, the man said, the children are not Selena's children. They are bastards. And your daughter, princess and heir to the Iron Throne, is a whore. I mean, when he said that, I was like, wait, Vaemond, we all know what Rhaenyra is. We all know that the children do not belong to Selena. We all know that she is, as you put it. But then, for you to open your mouth to say it, how dare you say that in front of the king and his subject? What message are you sending across? That anybody can come and stand before the king and speak anyhow, speak any way they like, and go scot-free and just lose their tongue? How dare you? So the king was like, I'm going to have your tongue for that. Then, out of nowhere, Daemon just comes and pew, his head is off. And you know, I think Daemon is my guy in this movie. He's an action guy. He doesn't talk much. He just does the thing. And there, I think I had two meanings. It had two meanings. One, you respected the king, who is my brother. You do not belittle his authority in front of his subject. Two, you disrespected my wife and called her a whore. You cannot have that. Okay, three, the king is too weak to cut your tongue, and the tongue is not enough. Let me just chop off your head. I mean, it was like, yeah, an action man. I wasn't surprised that Daemon did that. I was not surprised. I mean, how dare you? How dare you? So the matter was settled then that Viserys is going to be the Lord of Driftmark. And that situation that Daemon puts the whole thing through sends a message to other people that you cannot talk about the princess like that. You cannot talk about the heir to the Iron Throne like that. You cannot speak anyhow you want. You cannot just open your mouth and speak. We all know what she is, but shut up. That is all. That is the point. So that was settled. The king said they should have a dinner. At the dinner, they had everybody, the family, everyone is around. But I felt like Aemond looked older than Aegon. Aegon is the first child, right? How, the change in characters, like the faces, I think a little bit more needs to be done. Aemond looks so old. It's not by his height. He looks older, way older than Aegon. Meanwhile, he's the second child. And then their sister too is around. That's fine. They had dinner. At a point, a pig was served. Rhaenyra's children were laughing and all that. He got angry. He also called them strong and all that. At that time, the king had left. The king was like, you know what? Put your differences aside and let's be strong together. But I don't think that's going to happen. At the end of the day, I think Viserys just said his goodbyes to us with the last scene that we saw. The man is weak. The man has to die. I mean, I've been waiting for him to pass on. I've been waiting for him to die. And he's not dying. I don't know why. But I think now that he's going to die. So I don't expect to see him in the next episode. And I'm wondering what Rhaenyra's defenses would be later on. Because trust me, her father cannot be around all the time to defend her and her actions. Right? So yeah, that's the episode 8. What did you make of it? Leave your comments in the comment section. Do well to subscribe. My name is Beverly Langdon. I'll see you again next time. Bye.